What's up, cool kids? FD White. So we got Jerome Powell speaking yesterday at the FOMC press conference. They also released forward guidance. They released the dot plot. So that's just telling us where they see the overall economy being, where they see unemployment, where they see the inflation rate being, in the near to medium to longer term. So I don't care about the super longer term, 2026, 2027. I'm talking about 2025, because this is where we want to make the most money. If the cycle plays out the way the people or the way the cycle usually plays out. If the cycle plays out the way the cycle usually plays out, we should get a top end of Q4. So with that being said, Jerome Powell did say that they do see possible 2 rate cuts going into the end of the year. 1 to 2 rate cuts going into the end of the year. So it's 2 scenarios with rate cuts, and then we'll talk a little bit about Bitcoin. It's 2 scenarios that you can get with rate cuts. They can either have a preemptive measures that, okay, September comes, October comes, we're going to cut, and then I guess November, December, we're going to cut again. Or if something breaks. We don't want them to start cutting rates because something breaks. We want them to already have, okay, we're going to start cutting rates in September, we're going to start, and then we're going to cut rates in, whatever, November or something like that. If it's already scheduled. We want scheduled cuts. We don't want something to break and then they have to do emergency cuts. That would be bad for markets. We want these preemptive cuts. So with that being said, we are already in June. Typically, summer of crypto in the last year of the 4-year cycle is pretty choppy, pretty, it's really not really one clear direction as to which way the market wants to go. We are still bullish. I mean, we're above 100K, which is amazing right now. We're at 104.8 last time I checked. So we're in June, going into July. We have July, August, and what's usually the worst month in crypto is September. September is typically, I don't know if it's the worst month, but it's probably 1 or 2, number 1 and number 2 worst months in crypto, for crypto. So you see worst month, or people see the worst month. I see opportunity, especially once we bring it all together with them saying, okay, we're going to start cutting rates, or we're going to cut rates toward the tail end of the year. Hopefully, because it's not because something breaks. It's just because this is what we have, or this is what we're going to do. So if September is typically the worst month or one of the worst months in crypto, I think that will be the last time that you can get in crypto before the run up. Because if the stars align, then we will have the rate cuts coming with the end of the year, which is usually the 4-year cycle top to Q4. Once we get a nice run up in Bitcoin and altcoins, and then we will have time to accumulate up until the September, which is September is usually, like I said, the worst month of the year in crypto for, the returns in crypto. So this is what I'm positioned to do. Right now, of course, I'm trading. I'm doing all that. I'm trading on Breakout prop firm as a 6-figure trader. I'm trading over on BTCC and Bitunix. Links will be down in the description below. But what I'm doing right now is I'm slowly starting to accumulate some of the top coins. Some of the ones that I'm like, okay, I know I can get. I think I can get maybe like a 3-4x if the market does start to turn very, very bullish. Altcoins have been looking very weak. We did have 2 pushes. We had one early 2024, and then we had another one like at the end of the year around the election time. I think we're going to get one more short altcoin burst. It's not going to be dispersed into all coins like the past cycles have been, where everything goes up. We're still going to have to be totally locked in and seeing where the money is flowing, seeing where the liquidity is going. So I want to, of course, I'm saving in Bitcoin. I'm not buying any more Ethereum. I do think Ethereum will do pretty well. Solana, I think Solana still has a lot of upside. I do think Sui has some upside. I'm looking at Ondo, and I'm looking at Hype. Those are some of the top coins that I think could still do maybe like a 3-4x. Then that's right now. That's what I'm doing right now. Then once the end of the year starts coming, like Q3, now I'm starting to get, okay, now I'm deep diving and I'm looking for these smaller cap coins, some that are gaining momentum, some that are looking promising, some that a lot of people are convicted in, because right now in crypto, there's a lot of projects that are promising a lot of good things, but we have to be honest and we have to be real with ourselves. Crypto is speculation. Crypto is hype. So we have to go where the speculation is going, the liquidity is going, and where the hype is going. So end of Q3, like I said, when this goes back to September, this is when we're going to really start to look. Hopefully all this plays out. I'm not a fortune teller, but this is what I'm thinking. This is my plan number one. Of course, we're always fluid. We're liquid in the markets to see if something is changing, something is moving. We'll move and change with the market. But this is my scenario that I hope will play out if the 4-year cycle does to play out just a small bit of how it played out in the past. So we're accumulating those coins right now. I'm starting to accumulate slowly and surely those coins right now that I think can do, like I said, 3, 4x, possibly 5x. Then towards Q3, mid Q3, later Q3, we're going to start, well, September. Like I said, September is usually the last time that we get like a huge dip. I'm going to start to really get into some lower cap, higher risk, higher reward plays. That's when I'm going to really be, I'm still deep diving. I'm still doing all my due diligence, but that's when I'm really going to start going heavy. So of course I'm still trying to accumulate as much dry powder as I can because I'm going heavy. I'm going to either lose it all or I'm going to make a ton. I'm going to make a ton. So I got, you know, I'm not going to be just super unrealistic with some of my expectations, thinking I'm just going to get multiple 100x's, but I am going to go heavy this the last part of this year, and I'm going to take profits. That's another thing. I don't want to round trip. I'm going to accumulate heavy going into September, early October. If we can get some type of run up going into October, November, early December, I'm going to start trimming profits every 2, 3, 4x. If I get in some of these lower cap coins that are moving and going hard, I'm going to trim profits, take my initial capital out, trim profits. You're never going to time the top. You're never going to time the bottom. So I'm going to just be taking profits on the way up and making sure I'm paying myself, because up until, I'll say, December, I think we can have some good upside. Once December comes around, early 2026, it's so hard to predict this market. It's so hard to predict what's going to happen super far out. Well, midterm, because this is like midterm. Far out, we know Bitcoin is going to be, you know, to the moon. Short term, we can kind of predict some moves unless some tweet or something comes out. Midterm is a little bit harder, which is what we're trying to do right here in this video. Longer term, of course, we're, you know, Bitcoin is king. But that's my plan. What's your plan? I want to hear you guys' plan. Make sure you guys come to the community, the Cool Kids Alpha Club. We will have, I will post my thoughts and my data news, real-time data, my real-time thoughts over in there. And that's just what I'm thinking. I've just been brainstorming this. The 4-year cycle has not really been playing out the way that we thought it would. Of course, we got an all-time high before the halving. We did not have a sell and man go away on the 4th year of the cycle. So a lot of things have been different, but it seems like I said, the way the rate cuts may be coming out, the way they may be laid out, what he was saying yesterday in the FOMC conference, the stars may align for a rally in Q4. And this is what I'm positioning myself for. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to be trading. I'm going to be investing. I'm going to be taking profits. We're trying to change our life, and I hope I can help you change yours as well. So this is FD White. I'll talk to you in a minute. Peace.